every host and every most my friends, hi new friends, hi fake friends, hi old friends. So originally I wasn't planning to make another video so soon but I was playing around with the software I was talking about yesterday, which was the ones like Scrivener, Dabble, Campfire. Campfire is kind of where I'm leaning to. And I did actually get some plotting done today, so I kind of just wanted to go over that and what I used in case this outline template is something that may or may not be helpful to you. Now my face is gonna look kind of blown out because I don't do this all the time. We're just gonna kind of get some fake lighting here. My face looks shiny. It's because it fucking is. Okay, so Scream. Right now I'm on Campfire. So as we were yesterday, just starting the same way, we're on Campfire. So if I go to open my project, which is the D for Demon Project, will get renamed, but I think we kind of sort of have a thematic theme going on. Thematic theme. I have a theme. We're gonna get there. So, that was a ghost. So this is kind of what I've got my theme to look like. Theme again. Because you can change your theme in Campfire. If you go to view and manage themes, it does come with some preloaded themes that kind of, have different colors, different fonts, and things like that, which will make it easier for you to, look at. I personally like things to look kind of clean and together and smooth, which is my way of saying I want it, to just look kind of neat. I don't want it to be overcrowded because then I get overwhelmed. And I kind of like pretty fonts because they make me feel better, rather than, everything being in, Times New Roman and just looking what it do. So, what I ended up finding today while kind of looking around in Campfire and going through tutorials and blogs is something I did not know of, which, is surprising because I feel like I should have. It's this Save the Cat beat sheet. Or in general, like the Save the Cat beat sheet outline, whatever. It's the general 15 beats that make up a story. I mean, not every story has to follow the same thing, but more often than not, it seems that stories tend to follow the 15 beat Save the Cat beat. Don't know why it's called Save the Cat. I'll look that up eventually. Maybe I'll look it up while I'm reading this now. But it's it was easy for me. Once I looked at it, it made sense. It clicked to me on how to fill things in this way. So, that said, I'll kind of go over very briefly what it is, just from my point of view. So, the Save the Cat beat sheet thing. So, according to this image, this one kind of, makes sense to me. It's a because you're not just constantly bloop, bloop. You're not, constantly going up and down. Let me get this book. Okay, okay. So in get on my okay. I didn't know there was a pocket book the whole time. So let's get to what I was getting to. I'm sorry, I got excited, and then so if we go to this one, it has the plot machine, which if you've done anything like an English school, when you go to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about because I might have just put stupid words together. I do know what I'm talking about. So this is kind of if you English, you know that you have your beginning, your middle, and your end. The climax point is where the majority of your story, that's where the thing happens. That's where we're going here. So it's like going up, leading up, and then once you've hit that is the falling action, rising action, falling action. It's like the general thing that they tell you, for a story. But there's also like this timeline where you can do your order of events. Um, and I guess, when you're in school, or I was like, it's linear, it's gonna go this way. But I mean, it really doesn't have to. Nothing says it does. It's just the flow of the story. But this one kind of, has the main parts of it and then the other parts, and then it kind of has a a subplot mixed into it. So in general, saying there's the opening image, which is here. You're in your oops, sorry, which is here. And then you have your final image. And then you kind of go up, down, up, down, up, down, rising and falling action, rising with your, your beginning, your middle, and kind of like your end here, kind of going through with your main points of it. So there's 3 acts to it, like I said. So it wants each of the 15 points to be a beat. So the best way that I saw in the things I was reading to kind of describe it is that each beat should be a one sentence. this is what this beat is. Because if you have to over explain it, then you don't know what beat you're trying to hit. And you're hitting too many things to get that sound, that beat, that oof. So you want to kind of condense it down to one nice little nugget so you have like a 15 sentences that are that story's, the skeleton. So it's details, make it up, and you get your three acts, blah blah blah. So, excuse me, I have some sinuses. So, what the 15 beats are is that opening image, the theme stated setup, the catalyst, the debate, breaks in the twos, B story, fun and games, midpoint, bad guys, blah blah. You can read all that. So, yeah. So here it says describe one or two sentences. If it's too much, then you want it to be this is it. This is what's happening. Now, the Reezy blog kind of puts it together with The Hate You Give, which is a really good book. You should read it, but I know it was also made into a movie. So I think they're kind of, using those back and forth. Um, kind of tells you, what percentage of each thing should be. So, for example, with this one, the hero introducing who it is, what's going on. So, Star feels at a place at the Garden Heights. She's at a party with, I think it's, her friends. It's, not who she normally hangs out with, but it's an identity crisis kind of thing. It was it's a good book. I don't want to go through all this because I don't want to spoil it if it's something you plan on reading. So we'll go to the other article for it, which is the one from the Campfire team. Campfire. So again, this kind of same thing. It breaks it down what it is, how it works, what each beat is. Now, the reason I'm kind of bringing up this particular article is because it kind of gives what kind of stories can fit into it. Most of them can, but in general, the ones that don't, yeah, I don't really know what big. My particular story is going to end up being a dude with a problem. Average hero finds themselves in extraordinary circumstances. Is kind of what mine's going to end up being, that general one. And, for example, it kind of compares that one to like Spider-Man. There's a thing happens, what's going on. So, and it breaks down the beats down a little bit more detail about, what should happen, what happens within those beats, what that beat is for. So, if you get down to the bottom here, and there's a code that if you go to Campfire, and I already have it downloaded in mine, but if you don't, you go to the timeline button, and there's, you know, um, little plus thingy, and you would open it up. I have stuff in it, so I don't think it'll let me. Um, or it might. I just don't want to mess it up, and it will put the three acts in there for you. So you can hit View Canvas, and it will kind of lay them out on this bigger screen for you, or you can click on them over here one by one. But if you do it this way, it will open it up for you and tell you kind of exactly, what each one is in detail. So we kind of looked at Act One stuff. Let's go to Act Two and kind of look at something in here. So, for example, let's say the midpoint is the middle of the story and the culmination of the fun and games. Usually, this is a false victory or a false defeat. Midpoint raises the stakes on the hero, forcing them to narrow their focus. So, often a ticking clock is introduced here, ratcheting up tension and boosting the urgency. So, if I click on this little block, it should open up over here. I'm still trying to get some of these to sync correctly, so let's just save one and come back. I did type a lot of this on my phone, and like I said, I do appreciate it syncing to it, but I have to edit a few things. There it goes. So the groups think they have like everything they need in the midpoint, which is like the general beat for me. I know what that means. That is what's going on. They've got everything. They're ready. Um, back it up. Kind of that one. So like, and if I go back to Act One, which I know I've kind of got all that in quite correctly. So with this, doing correctly. If I go to, setup, character's ordinary life, what they're doing, blah, blah, blah. Ethan and Ashley prepare for a birthday trip. This is just kind of the ordinary thing that's happening. This is what's getting us to further points in the story. This is the beat I have here, my third beat. And then I can, go in here later on if I choose to do so. Like I said, I haven't purchased Campfire yet. I'm using the free version just to kind of feel things out, but you can go in and I could outline more as I needed. Like I said, I don't really plan by chapter. I'm not like chapter one is this, chapter two is this. I do think this beat thing is going to work better for me. So I just need to know what happens within this beat. This is the beat. Um, and then that will kind of, flow into a chapter as I need it. I think it's structure, but not overly structured. I don't have to say this is what I have to do in this chapter. I'll know where I'm going and then kind of able to fill in the spaces, I believe, without overdoing things like I tend to do. So that is the timeline. So I will go in, kind of play with that a little bit more later. Like I said, it does go to my phone. The phone is very easy to use, and the app on it actually um went in and filled all these in on my phone, and I kind of, making sure they move over here correctly. And it does have things where you can make like story character arcs. Um, I know it keeps popping up some things, and I'm still, like I said, playing here. So it's trying to give me a tutorial, which I appreciate, but as I said, I'm not doing too much in it just yet. But you can like move everything around in here, which I do kind of like the drag and droppy feature. Like it's like a little pin board that is fun. Um, to kind of go through with that. So I know I'll definitely be using the arcs. That's the next thing I'm probably gonna, figure out. Got the timeline. The manuscript part, it's probably gonna be easy to figure out. I've built one character so far in here, which is the main character, which is I've already done that. Thank you. Thanks. Which is Ashlyn's kind of I've been going in. It looks much nicer on the desktop. It is like very easy to scroll through it in the phone, but it is nice to look at on the desktop. You guys probably don't want to see me right in the middle. Aha, secrets. No, kind of just in general playing around with them. And you can make like tags for them. So you can when you're looking at things in the phone, you can sort by tags and it will, kind of sort it for you that way, which I do think is cool. Like I said, and it does seem like it's very detailed in, things in general. Like if I go to the magic system. Hold on. Excuse me. So, kind of breaks it down for you. And again, like I said, if you're using the free version, it does look like, you're limited to what you can do. I mean, which is fair, it's the free version. I'm just playing around in it. I don't know what all parts I would need yet, but I think if I'm going to do one, I'm kind of leaning, like I said, toward campfire. It does seem like it's cute and portable, and I can access it. It's not when I have to have like the program downloaded, but I can use it, sit on my phone. And if I log in from any computer, which is one of the things I liked about Readsy, I could log in, any computer, if I was somewhere and I was like, oh, I want to, write some while I'm here, like on my break, or I want to, write on my phone when I'm somewhere, I could just log in and do it, which I think is for me, just to be able to do it anywhere is a good part of it. Listen, it does, have, lots of things you can kind of like go in and do. So for me, I think I'm gonna end up using, Readsy, well, Readsy, using Campfire, and I'll try to add a little video of what it looks like on the phone as well. But I think this is kind of where I'm leaning in my planning. So if you haven't heard of the Save the Cat beat sheet, look it up. I was not aware that was a thing, official thing with a name. That definitely helped me a lot today to get those 15 beats down because I knew kind of where I wanted to go, but then I got to summarize them down into beats, and then I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier for me to fill out chapters from there. So if you have suggestions, like I said, I say that a lot. I'm sorry. Or any other, ideas, suggestions. If you guys want to be friends on Nano, I'm Jen Bunny. Um, so you can find me, add me. If you guys like are someone who wants to chat, want accountability partners, I'm great at annoying you to make sure you've done what you need to do. So feel free to find me. Again, Stage Trinity, username on most things, unless it's, like a private, I say private on a social, you don't need to be digging at. Um, you can find me from there. So thanks for checking out, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!